สนับสนุนโดยพลังของทุกคนร่วมก่อเกิดเป็น AIA เราคือพลังสร้างอนาคตน้ำดื่มสะอาดน้ำดื่มตราสิงห์
What do you see your own role in the next step of the political solution in this country? Your own personal role?
Well, I think now, at the moment, I feel that my role is to once more unite the democratic forces and to revive those parts of our movement which have been intimidated in the last 6 years.
And then make it a condition for the release of the remaining political prisoners?
The release of political prisoners we've already asked for, as you will know from my first statement. We've urged the authorities to release political prisoners as soon as possible. But we are not starting out with conditions. We are starting out with the clear objective of just getting people to sit around the table so we can start talking about conditions.
You told your supporters not to expect too much too quickly. What are the expectations now?
I think they understand what I mean. This is one of the saddest things about Burma, that a lot of my supporters actually do not trust the authorities, not just my supporters, but there is a climate of suspicion in Burma. Everybody's afraid that somebody else may be an informer. So to build up a climate of trust is going to be one of our most difficult jobs. And the people understand perfectly well when I say, don't raise your expectations too high, don't be in such a hurry. A lot of them, in fact, have said to me, you have to be careful, you can't believe, they can't really believe that this is happening, that I've been released.
If your people do not trust the authorities, do you trust the authorities?
I think they will have to show that they are trustworthy. We would need indications of their trustworthiness before we can trust them. But it's a mutual process.
And they trust you?
I think you must ask them that question. I would not know the answer to that. They've dealt with me for 6 years and they know a lot about me. And I'd be very grateful if you would go and ask them, do you trust her?
We'll try to ask that question to them. But you have surprised a lot of people by showing no ill feelings, no resentment against your captors at all.
Has that come as a surprise?
Yes, I think it's quite...
But most of our people who have in fact lived under far worse conditions than I, in insane jail and other jails, they have no feelings of ill will either. Perhaps I'm fortunate in my colleagues. They're all very fine, honourable people, and they always look forward to the future and not backwards. And because they are so strong in themselves and so committed, they have been able to bear all the troubles of the last 6 years with such equanimity that there is no sediment of ill will.
Is that because the 6 years of house arrest has changed you? Changed your attitude?
It's not just me. I was very happy to find that it's been the same with so many of my colleagues. They've come out without any ill will, and they really had a tough time. I was under house arrest. All right, this is not the most beautiful house in the world, but it's a lot more comfortable than insane jail or any other jail in the country. And whereas they were in jail, and some of the prisons are very uncomfortable. The prison conditions are very uncomfortable, but they have come out without any ill feelings. And to me, it does not seem at all surprising that I had no ill feelings. Why should I when they don't? We are all very much of the same mind.
But do the authorities appreciate your absence of ill feelings towards them?
I hope they do. I hope they do. Because I think they also should learn not to harbor ill feelings.
If you try to read the minds of the military leaders here, what kind of role do you think they want to see you play?
No, I cannot speak for them at all. As you may be aware, they did try to stop me from continuing in my political role, that I was offered freedom for leaving the country, but I never accepted that. I think on the whole they were all agreed that it would be better for them if I left politics. But since I have not done so, they may now have new ideas about what they wish to see me do, but I have made it very clear that I intend to go on playing an active role in politics.
Is it true that there were absolutely no conditions for your release?
Yes, no conditions. I would not have accepted any conditions anyway, and I think they knew that.
You're talking to the NLD supporters and leaders every day almost.
Almost every day, yes. We're in constant contact.
You feel encouraged by their attitude?
Yes. You will, of course, have heard the general view within the last 6 years that the NLD was a completely spent force, and it had been crushed, and it was no longer viable as a political party. I do not think this is true at all. Of course, it has been dampened down considerably by all the restrictions imposed on it within the last 6 years, but we still have the support of the people.
The international community had pressed for your release, and now that we are free, what kind of stand do you think from this point on the world community should take in vis-a-vis Burma?
First of all, the release of other political detainees. I'm the only one who has been released in the last 3 weeks, and there are hundreds of other political detainees left. And secondly, to encourage dialogue and negotiation. I think this is not just for the sake of Burma, but for the sake of establishing an international code of behavior that problems are settled through negotiation. I think this would be of advantage to every country if we set a precedent that in this world human beings sit down and talk to each other and solve their problems through negotiation and not through repression.
So your message to all the potential donor countries and investors is not rush.
Not to rush, and to please encourage a climate of dialogue and negotiation.
What would be the proper framework for a real union of Burma to be really established?
Well, first of all, I think we have to build up a climate of trust. I think this is what is missing in Burma. Until we've built up a climate of trust, we can't even start effective negotiations. It is easy enough to sit around a table, but if everybody is suspicious of everybody, we will never be able to come to any settlement acceptable to all. So we have to show the ethnic peoples that there is a government which they can trust to sympathize with their aspirations and their problems. And then I think we have to take it from there. It is possible that some of the ethnic groups may already have their own suggestions as to what kind of framework they wish to they wish in place before they can negotiate effectively, and it is possible that the very framework is something that will have to be negotiated.
Your separation from the family in any way weakened your resolve?
No, it did not weaken my resolve. I have to admit that I had to train myself not to think about them too much, because there was nothing I could do about them. There was nothing I could do to help. So it was just a matter of self-discipline, that I did not let my mind dwell on matters about which I could do nothing.
And you still have your security guard with you now?
Yes.
You feel safe going around the city?
I think I'm quite safe. I do not know. I cannot guarantee my safety. Let's put it this way. I feel quite safe. But intellectually, of course, I accept that it may not be safe. But that does not worry me.
When you go out and meet people, what kind of message do you try to convey to them?
Well, I frankly ask them for their support. I tell them that with their support, I'm confident that I will be able to reach the goal they want to reach. But without their support, it will not be possible.
So looking forward to taking up an active political role again in the near future.
Well, aren't I already playing an active role?
A more active one.
Well, let's hope it gets more active. Yes.